Hey, Morning Manna, welcome to a brand new series. I want to look at a book of the Bible and a story that every one of us knows. This is one of the most famous stories, I think, in the Bible. It's in every children's storybook Bible. It's even VeggieTales has done something about this. It's the story of Jonah and the whale. And really, that's a bigger epic. There's a more important thing going on. We discover a lot about God's character, God's nature, His heart toward people, our call toward outreach. But of course, it's famous because of that section in the middle where Jonah gets swallowed and he's 3 days in the belly of the whale. And so I kind of want to walk through, Jonah's only 4 chapters long. Over these 6 days that we have together, I want to walk through some elements of that story and just pull out a devotional thought for us. And my first thought is this, that God is compassionate. And what that means to us is it's wisest not to keep enemies. You know, Jonah gets in the trouble that he gets in, finds himself in the midst of the storm, swallowed by the whale because he's running from God. Not because he's afraid of the call of God on his life. He's willing to stand up and prophesy. Not because he's incapable, not for a whole bunch of reasons. It's really this simple. Jonah does not like the people that God's calling him to prophesy to. And there's a good reason for that. They've been horrible to the children of Israel. They're huge enemies of Israel. But Jonah knows that God is compassionate, and he knows if he shows up with a word of judgment for the people, the Assyrians, then they'll probably repent. And he doesn't want them to happen. He wants God to punish them. He wants them to get what's coming to them. And sometimes we can be guilty of the same thing. Sometimes we want to hold people as enemies, and we want them to be opposing God, and we want them to get the worst from Him. But the truth is, God is a God of compassion, and He has a heart for people. All of us have found ourselves far from God, in desperate need of Him. And He desires that we have His heart, and that is that none should perish. So let's remember that God is compassionate, and therefore we should be careful holding on to enemies. Come back tomorrow morning.